Get ready to dive into a world where empires stand on the brink of war and terrible monsters tear at the fragile borderlands of men. The Adventurer Conqueror King System Imperial Imprint, or as we like to call it, Acts 2, is now live on Kickstarter. Acts 2 is the new edition of the acclaimed best-selling fantasy role-playing game. You'll find everything you need to enjoy epic fantasy campaigns with a sweeping scope. Whether you want to crawl through dungeons, experiment with alchemy, crossbreed monsters, run a merchant emporium, raise an undead legion, or even conquer an empire, Acts 2 supports your playstyle. Acts 2 integrates experience point mechanics, making campaign activities a seamless part of the core gameplay loop. Your character levels up in new and exciting ways each time you play, adding massive replayability to each of your adventures. Acts 2 offers 18 character classes, 378 spells, new combat mechanics, and so much more. Support Acts 2 on Kickstarter today.
How powerful is the Cox network? So powerful that one day, the internet will let your doctor perform miracles from thousands of miles away.
Connecting to remote operating room.
Giving a whole new meaning to the term house call.
Operation complete.
The Cox network. With gig speeds everywhere. It's internet built for tomorrow, today. Cox, bringing us closer. In Cox serviceable areas, speeds vary and are not guaranteed. Cox terms apply. Other restrictions may apply. How powerful is the Cox network? So powerful that one day, the internet will let your doctor perform miracles from thousands of miles away.
Connecting to remote operating room.
Giving a whole new meaning to the term house call.
Operation complete.
The Cox network. With gig speeds everywhere, it's internet built for tomorrow, today. Cox, bringing us closer. In Cox serviceable areas, speeds vary and are not guaranteed. Cox terms apply. Other restrictions may apply.
Knocked Prone is a clean, chaotic, and deep podcast for D&D nerds. Find more ways to support our show in the episode description.
Last time on Knocked Prone.
Why is it worth it to put your heart in someone else's hands?
Isn't having people who care about you what life's all about, though? I care about you. Grom cares about you. We all care about you.
Selene, as you are walking, you notice Finch's travel sack lying on the floor, pools filled with green, waxy spider venom. And Finch is tied and strapped in to one of these pools. Zag, roll me a D4 lug check, -1.
1. It's going to be a 0 for me.
The entire bottom half of his body has been replaced to be Drider's half of the body.
My boyfriend's a spider!
Where's Finch?
More tears ensue. And as I remember that I have Finch's bag around me, I'm going to look into the bag to see what's inside.
Scrawled on a piece of paper, Selene, as soon as I set eyes on you, I knew deep down that my life would change. Today, I want you to know that you are the person I want to be with for the rest of my life. In many different stages and versions, regardless of the change, good or bad. I want to experience adventure with you, Selene. Selene, will you marry me?
Whether you're a halfling, a giant, or somewhere in between,
Around the table with your friends, playing Dungeons and Dragons.
and if life ever knocks you down, your dice will surely turn around. Roll stats, it's time to quest. Let's put your characters to the test.
So Selene is obviously extremely distraught in this moment. So she's kneeling on the floor with the note that she found from Finch, her wedding dress in her hands. She's going to look up at the party with tears in her eyes and say, I ruined my own proposal. All I've ever wanted is to fall in love, and for years, Finch has swept me off my feet. He came all this way to be with me, and it's my fault that he was here in this mine. I'm going to go after him, and I will stop at nothing to bring us back together. I don't care about Ascended Corpse money or corruption or getting to the bottom of the murders of the Azamar people if I don't have Finch. I'm not going to lose my one true love. And I'm going to start packing the dress back into the bag, and I'm going to tuck the note in my pocket.
Selene, what is that dress? What is that note? What is it?
What color? Is it like a white dress or is it like some sort of ASMR? Okay.
Yes, so it is a totally white dress. I honestly can assume that you guys can recognize that it's a wedding dress. I found this note in his bag, and Finch was going to propose to me.
Oh my gosh. He is your one true love.
You put it in a note?
I think it's more of a script. I don't think I was supposed to read it. It seems like he was going to use it to propose to me. I don't think I was meant to find this yet, but he knew this was my dream dress, and at this point I'm wasting time. I have to go.
I agree. We haven't done anything. We've just traded one Drider for another. If we don't solve this problem, then the problems that have happened in this mine will just continue.
Well, I would like to at least point out, he could have stayed here and we could have helped him, but he ran.
He doesn't know what he's doing. He's never spent any time down here before. I know he's not the toughest guy, but he really is my one true love.
He looked terrified, and all I know is Ascended Corp's mission can wait. We need to help our friend right now.
You guys are coming with me?
You better believe we're coming with you.
Of course. We can't let it just roam around here.
Efimia, will you come with us? Somebody sees me like crossing my fingers behind my back.
Zach's gonna just grab Efimia's hand and start walking.
I feel like it's a little bit of a waste of time to chase off the man who ran. Well, the Drider, I guess, would be the more appropriate word at this point. But you know what, Selene? I will do it for you.
Oh, thanks, guys.
Not him, though.
That's okay. I really appreciate it. To be honest, I've never really had friends like you before, and I was ready to go do this alone, so thanks for coming with me.
Of course. No time to waste. Lead on.
We march forward.
You guys travel deeper and deeper down into the Underdark. The rune crystals get thicker and thicker as you are continuing down this path. Water is dripping down haphazardly from the condensation of this mine tunnel leading into the Underdark. As you guys approach, you see spider tracks that you've been following this entire time, and they lead into this central cavern.
Before we go into the cavern, I think Zach's going to want to try and do some maintenance with the party almost and just ask, like, we just got out of that fight. How's everybody feeling?
I'm doing all right. I'm ready to go.
Okay.
I feel right as rain.
Off we go, I suppose. Could we recognize Finch Drider from other Driders?
100%. So Finch still has a lot of the same facial features as he would have before. The only thing that has really changed is the bottom half of him. Instead of being an Azamar legs, he now is like a centaur version, but with spider instead of centaur.
Okay.
Like horse body.
So we can tell the difference.
Yeah, you can tell.
So we are following Finch's track.
You are following
and we know
Finch's
it.
track. And yeah, you definitely can tell with each of your wisdom scores, like you can definitely tell that these are Finch's tracks because of
Maybe
where
not
he
Grom's.
left. Yeah, maybe not Grom, but everyone else can tell.
This is a 10. It's perfectly average.
Before we go into that central cavern, Zag is going to use his channel divinity, harness divine power to regain a spell slot, as well as you're going to see him reach into his pocket. He has another item in there he's going to grab onto, and you're going to see a dim glow kind of come out of his pocket if anybody's noticing, and he's going to regain another spell slot.
So you regain your spell slots. Everyone kind of either heals up or bolsters up for what's next. You notice that this cavern gets smaller and smaller until each of you have to kind of army crawl on hands and knees to get through the rest of this cave. The footprints of Finch continue.
As we look around, do we see any inkling or can we perceive like there's any magic or anything going around us, like to alter the size of the cave, or do we notice anything off about it?
Roll me an Arcana check.
2?
With
is that going to cut it?
It seems like there isn't any magic that's happening, but it also seems like all the magic is happening at once. So you're not particularly aware of what's happening.
Who here would maybe have the most background info on Driders that could know if they just have this ability?
Grom would have the most background info on Driders. Grom actually fought Driders as a miner in the Mithril mines.
I don't think I ever saw them shrink or do anything particular like that.
No, in fact, this is just kind of unusual for everyone. But as you're continuing on down this tunnel, the tunnel eventually opens up into a large cavern, and you see a female Drider sitting at the top of this throne, and you indeed see Finch 10 feet underneath this throne, bowing to this female Drider.
Being the rogue that I am, I'm going to turn around and hush everybody. Has anybody seen us yet?
No.
Okay, I'm going to kind of crouch down and have everybody sort of huddle at the entrance. See what other details I can see. So you said that Finch is bowing down to this Drider queen. Is she how big is she? Are there other Driders there?
There is a singular Drider in this hall. The Drider is large, so is it about twice the size of your guys' size. It is this Drider female and Finch, who is also a Drider and large, sitting in this cavernous hall. It seems to have steps leading up to where this throne is. It seems to be some sort of Underdark throne room that you are sitting in.
Okay. I don't really know much about Driders. I don't have a lot of information. I don't even know how we should tackle this. I'm just glad he's here. All I do know is that Finch was not in his right mind when he ran away. It seemed like he was violent and just not the same. So I don't think we can just go take him. I'm not even sure what we're going to do with him if we can take him. I'm not going to marry a spider. I'm going to start crying again.
Selene, do you remember back on the train when I held that mercenary in place?
Uh-huh.
I can do that again.
Okay.
I can hold him.
How long?
I don't know. I mean, I only did it that one time, but that is an option. I feel like I can replicate that and do that again.
Okay, that's a good thought.
I would also just like to know it took him no time at all to start bowing to some random spider queen.
He's obviously not in his right mind.
I think he's been altered.
In the 10, 20 minutes? How long were we with Finch?
You've been with Finch for less than a day.
In the day that I've gotten to know Finch, that's not him.
Yeah, do you think he's a fan of spiders?
Besides, if he doesn't come with us, I have 50 feet of rope. If you are able to hold him still, I could tie him up and we can bring him along whether he's willing or not.
Yeah, these aren't bad ideas. I just think we need to protect ourselves if we're going to try to take him with us. And then from there, I'm not really sure what we're going to do. Maybe we can find a powerful wizard or something.
Yeah, what about that other Drider lady up there?
Well,
should we try and talk to her before we just go in?
The bigger question is, if we need to fight, do we think we can handle it?
Of course we can handle it.
Yeah, we took out a dinosaur.
Yeah, I guess you're right.
What is a measly spider gonna do?
I wouldn't call it quite measly, but I suppose we can find out for ourselves.
I've been crushing these spiders since before I went to Grey Haven. I think we should be all right.
Okay.
Valid.
That makes me feel better. I mean, no matter how hard it is, I'm not going to walk away without trying. So I'm going to step out into the cavern, no weapons drawn, and just feel out the room in the first 5 seconds that I'm standing there within her vision.
Does anybody else feel like this might be a mistake?
Yep.
Or do we think this is good? Okay, let's just see how it goes.
Hello. I noticed that you have a connection to this here boy.
How do you know that?
I can feel it. Haven't you noticed the webs that you've been stepping in?
And as you look at your feet, all along the way, you thought that this stone has kind of been like crackly and white. It is covered in spider webs that are just thin and covering the floor. This head Drider person is able to sense the whereabouts of the caves.
I cringe as I realize that there's spider webs have been underneath us this whole time. I don't know what kind of connection you have to Finch, but you need to let him go. Can you let him go?
Oh, well, are you familiar with the goddess Lolth?
Yes.
Lolth has recently died. And well, I am the bridesmaid of darkness, her one successor here on the plains, and I need a spouse to join me in holy matrimony so that I can further take my place as the new Spider Queen. All of my other subjects have, well, died. But this man has conquered the spider venom and lived. And so he is to be my spouse.
Well, I'm sorry, but I can't let that happen. And I'm going to take out my all-pike and just kind of ready my weapon and assume that everyone's
Darling, if you have any unpleasantries with me, you must know that I do not wish to feed any further today. Though, if you continue to protest, I assume that maybe my children might enjoy a midday snack.
And you notice that her stomach is kind of like bulging with other humanoid-shaped bodies. And she gestures down to a horde of spiderlings that are crawling around your feet.
We're not really after what you're wishing for.
Well, maybe there's a way we can come to a happy alternative. There is another suitor who I wish to also wed. Their name is Arachnia Blue, and they are a priest-ex over the Church of Lolth. They recently left our colony, and I would love to have them as a suitor over this fresh Drider. You see, Many traits are absorbed from the suitor to the wed during the ceremony. I wish for the strongest traits that I can consume.
So, to eat them?
Well, yes, in order to ascend to Loth's place, it would be necessary to consume a partner. However, it doesn't mean I'd have to do it right away. I could wait a little bit and just be in love with Arachnia Blue in our marriage.
Have you ever thought that if you have to actually force somebody to marry you, it's kind of a sham?
Yeah, that doesn't sound like true love to me.
Sounds actually pretty sketchy and like you can't find a significant spouse to take over, so...
I also don't like the idea of you things multiplying, so I think I'd rather just cut the head off the beast.
Hold on. I love love. Let me just make that clear. Have we met before?
Oh my. I met you when you were just a wee thing, didn't I?
I remember you. Vaguely remember you. You talked with my uncle.
Yes. Kaelin, if I recall.
Kaelin, yes.
Of
you
course,
did.
yes.
And he's gonna lean into Selene and be like, how does Zag know the spider?
Zag's been a lot of places.
Apparently so.
How's the old chap doing? His soul has offered me great power and as well delicious of a jewelry piece.
And Zag, you see an amulet around her neck with the soul stone that Kaelin gave you that is the exact same as yours.
Zag's gonna be taken back by that. Like, absolutely. He was never aware that his uncle had any power. He's gonna say, what are you talking about?
She holds up the necklace in her hands and holds it towards the light.
His soul is definitely what brings me the most power, Zag.
You see this twinkling blue, almost sapphire-like gem that she pulls out.
Zag will pull out his same thing out of his pocket. Identical match.
Oh, you have one as well. What type of deal did you make with your uncle?
I don't understand. How did you get that?
The orphans needed a place to stay. No one would accept you. And I said I wouldn't tell a soul, including your uncle's brother, your father, I assume, who is the king looking for his lost heir, in exchange for just a piece of your uncle's soul.
Is that what these are? His soul?
They provide me power. Power unlike any that I had known before.
Efimia's just narrowing her eyes on the side.
What are the dimensions of this room? How far away from her are we?
If you were to walk to her throne up the spiral staircase, it will take 25 feet of movement. But this Drider throne room is about 30 by 30 feet wide.
Zag's his demeanor is gonna change. He's feeling almost rage, which Zag is not an angry person. And he is going to put finger right in her face and say, you don't deserve a piece of him. That belongs to me.
I think maybe I'd be willing to part with it. You see, I've already told you, I need a suitor. If you could bring me my one true love, I give you the soul stone. I give you back your beloved. Or at least I change him back.
Selene, you notice that the wording that the Bridesmaid of Darkness is using is very precise. And Zag, you notice that ever since you've pulled out your soul stone, her eyes have hungrily been looking at it. Neither of you really know if you can trust this Drider.
That's an interesting point. The idea that maybe she could help us change him back, because that's still a question mark in our plan. But Selene is very much on the brink of like, do we think we can take this queen who's pre-goddess? Or do we go do the morally gray, maybe just straight up bad thing of finding her mate that probably doesn't want her, you know? Selene's gonna think out loud a little bit to the Bridesmaid of Darkness. So our option is to go get this old flame of yours who doesn't even want you anymore so that you can forcefully marry them? Why do you think that's something that we would go for?
They are the only other person that I'm interested in being wed to. Driders have fallen on hard times after all. They need a new leader. Lolth is dead, and we have no queen that will help us produce the Drider venom that not only nourishes our Drider community, but also turns other species into Driders. Coursing through your boyfriend's veins is the solution to our problems. The only other solution being Arachnia Blue. I figured I would leave that choice up to you.
Her eyebrow starts to twitch angrily, and she again looks at Zag's soul stone with just flames in her eyes.
Zag's gonna throw his arm straight out at the bridesmaid. Can we have a minute to talk alone?
Of course, the only thing that has a time limit here is this boy here. He soon will become a full Drider.
So Zag's gonna usher the group back towards, at least out of... Is there anywhere we can get somewhat out of earshot?
If you just crawl through the cave a ways, like literally...
through the web.
The acoustics are pointing away from the cave, so the echoes go backwards.
How powerful is the Cox network? So powerful that one day, the internet will let your doctor perform miracles from thousands of miles away.
Connecting to remote operating room.
Giving a whole new meaning to the term house call.
Operation complete.
The Cox network. With gig speeds everywhere, it's internet built for tomorrow, today. Cox, bringing us closer. In Cox serviceable areas, speeds vary and are not guaranteed. Cox terms apply. Other restrictions may apply.
So obviously Zag's brought everybody back, and he's going to, be looking at Selene, but talking to the entire party. Selene, I understand that this is an emotionally charged thing for you, and I understand that you want to help Finch, but I don't think that helping her with anything is the right move to make.
It'll only create more of those monstrosities.
Absolutely. I don't know if she's telling the truth. I don't know what's going on. She's got that stone. My uncle gave me that stone as he died. I don't understand 100% what's going on, but I know the powers that it's giving me. I don't know what it's doing for her, but I can't imagine she's using them for good.
Let's be honest. If she worships Sloth and she's taking her place, I don't really think she's a good creature. Anyway, I don't think she'd be able to follow through on our promises. I don't know if she would or not.
I don't think so. I just don't think we should be in line with her. I don't know what we could do to help Finch in this situation, but I do not think helping her is the right choice.
Efimia just pauses and kind of holds her hand over her neck where she still has a sort of spider bite from the last round we went with the Drider. I don't know about you all, but I'm exhausted. I really don't know what options we have here. Do you think I want to actually help her? No. Do I want to leave Finch? I won't confirm or deny that statement. But what I do know at least is I'll trust Selene on this one. But just know, I don't know that if we tried to fight, if we would win.
Well, to be honest, I'll do anything to get Finch back.
Even die? Because how will that help him?
Well, I guess that's what I'm saying is, obviously I don't want to die. I don't know if it's better to confront her now or to help her. To me, it might be worth it. I will stop at nothing to get him back. So whether that means fighting her or helping her, I don't know. But I think for me, both those options are on the table.
Efimia just kind of pulls Selene off to the side a little bit. Little sidebar. I know that you see this as your love, and I don't want to be, I guess, cynical, but I at least want to understand, are you sure about this? And I mean 100% sure, because there have been times where I thought I was, and it did not work in my favor, and I do not want to see the same of you.
I'm as sure as I could ever be. I have never had a reason to not trust him. He's only ever shown me love and kindness. The whole 2 years we've been dating.
I love.
Yeah.
I will go with you on this, but I want you to at least understand not everything is always as it seems, and I want you to protect yourself first. That is my only rule with going along with this, okay?
Okay.
Zag was just humming to himself, just waiting for you guys to be done.
Grom is just kind of staring at the ground. You can tell he's just angry throughout the whole thing. As you kind of turn back, he says,
The one thing I know is that these beasts can't be allowed to just roam freely. They are a danger to the many people above and the workers in the mine.
And what does Ascendant Corp do about that?
Well, they obviously blocked off the mine. They put the bottle in front to avoid people going down, right?
How are we to know that Ascended Corp didn't let the Driders know we were coming? I mean, they were trying to kill us last time. What's to say they didn't want this to happen to Finch? They sent Finch with us. We barely made it in there before we were...
You're going to believe war. You think Ascended Corp is after us?
Grom, I understand that they've been good to you, but it doesn't add up.
Grom, how good have they actually been? I mean, in the sense of, yeah, you got a steady paycheck maybe, and they say they're all about diversity, whatever that means. But honestly, what did you get out of this? I feel like...
Growing up in Bickeroon, I was different than some of the folks there.
Was it because of your gray skin?
You could say that, but I had trouble finding steady work until Ascended Corp showed up. They provided me with work purpose, and I was able to actually start my journey there. Then they sent me to Greyhaven to fight. One of my dreams. They've done a lot for me.
At what cost?
At no cost.
Really?
Grom, can I talk to you brother to brother? Zag's gonna look right at Grom, deep into his eyes. Look at his crazy red billowing hair. Billowing where there's no wind in this cave. And he's gonna say, I understand that they gave you an opportunity and a chance, but you're still important without Ascended Corp.
100% agree, I'm the champion of Greyhaven.
Exactly.
But they've still given me the opportunity. Before we were told that they were trying to kill us, I had never suspected it as such. They'd never given me a reason to. It doesn't make sense.
Exactly. It doesn't make sense. Nothing is making sense, and I want to get to the bottom of it, but we can't write anything off right now. We don't know whose side is good, who is bad, where we fit into all this, but something is not right.
Speaking of Ascended Corp, they could probably save Finch. They sent him down here. I'm sure they'd have some kind of policy to ensure that he's...
Did they send him down here to die with us?
I don't
That's the question.
I will not put the life of Finch in Ascended Corp's hands. He's in my hands. I need to take control of the situation. And I feel like our options are to go with her plan and find her true love or to fight right now.
I don't like
I'm
fighting.
of the opinion of fighting, but it's not my decision to make.
Zag is gonna, he's not a fan of fighting. He prefers the diplomatic route. But in this instance and this confusion and kind of first time he's really feeling like true anger, he wants to fight. He's gonna look at Efimia, seeing her grabbing her spider bite. He's gonna hand her a minor healing potion. And he's gonna say, I think you're gonna need this. I vote fight.
Okay, what do you think, Grom?
I'm of the preference of fighting. Of course, if you don't want to go to Ascended Corp to fix Finch, I don't see another way besides her. If we kill her, what are we going to do?
That is a valid point we could up with Drider Finch.
That's exactly why I'm torn. So, Efimia?
I think if we can maybe find Arachnia Blue, I know it's not the preferential route. This is honestly not the route I take, but the thing I worry about, Selene being stuck with a Drider for the rest of her life.
He doesn't have a lot of time, right?
He doesn't. No, he does not. But I think maybe we figure out A, our timeline, and then B, we figure out if we can find any direction to find this Drider as soon as possible. But if not, we might have to just come in, Eldritch Blast ablazing.
Well, Selene, I know I can help us fight, and I think we can do this, but I think it's going to be up to you. This affects you the most. I want that stone back, but I think this is up to you.
Agree.
It's going to be your call.
I'd be all for running out of this cave right now if it weren't for you, so I will put this in your hands.
I know we're split as a party right now, and that makes it really difficult because I know either way I'm going to be disappointing someone.
As you guys are standing here trying to make this decision, you feel a vibration in the webbing underneath your feet, and you hear in a large booming voice,
Time is up. What will it be? To save the boy and find my love, or death?
Zag is going to cast Emboldening Bond on Selene and Grom for the next 10 minutes to get your extra d4s. And he's marching out.
I'm going to turn to the Bridesmaid of Darkness and say, I don't know if you know this, but I'm not a huge fan of Lolth. And then I'm going to pull out my crossbow and attempt to hit her.
Okay, everyone roll initiative.
16.
19.
21.
12.
You pull your crossbow out to attack this Drider. First in the initiative is Finch.
Uh-oh.
Here we go.
He's going to roll a bite attack against you, Selene.
Oh man, you're going to do that?
That is a natural 20 to hit. Selene, as Finch bites into your neck, you're going to take 9 points of piercing damage and roll me a Constitution saving throw.
21.
Yeah.
Yes.
That will pass, so you will only take 15 points of poison damage.
Oh no.
And
I'm hurting.
that is the end of Finch's turn. Zag, you are up.
We're gonna die.
Okay, so Zag is going to run over behind Selene, hand on her shoulder from behind her, and you're almost going to see like another figure behind him echoing that same motion, like an indiscernible, almost like a ghostly figure. And he is going to cast Warding Bond between himself and Selene. This will ward Selene and create a mystic connection between us. While the target is within 60 feet of me, you will gain +1 to AC and saving throws, have resistance to all damage, but each time you take damage, I receive the same amount.
Okay. Oh, okay.
And that is the end of Zach's turn.
Efimia, you are up. You've just watched Finch bite into Selene's neck as she pulled a weapon out. What are you doing?
Efimia is definitely a little conflicted at this moment because she would have no problem dropping this spider, but also the fact is, how close is he to Selene right now?
He's right in front of her.
Right in front of her. Okay, I might regret this later, but I've got command, which at higher levels, if you cast a spell with a second level or higher, which I am, I can affect 2 creatures with a single word command as long as they are within 30 feet of each other. So I am just going to point at Finch and at the bridesmaid of darkness and just say, because it has to be a one word, grovel. And at this, the target falls prone and ends its next turn.
Is it a wisdom save?
It is a wisdom save 13.
That is a natural 1 and a 21. So Finch will fail and the bridesmaid of darkness will succeed.
Okay, so then that means she gets her next turn. Finch doesn't.
Yeah.
Okay.
So Finch unlatches from Selene's neck and is about to fall prone. It is the bridesmaid of darkness's turn, and watching Finch latch on to Selene, she's going to crawl over and do a bite attack on you as well.
On me? I'm not even gonna get a chance to do anything.
Selene, that is a 17 to hit.
You have a +1 to AC.
That hits.
And a natural 20 to hit.
Are you kidding me?
No! Sayonara, friends.
Did you roll 2 nat 20s already on her?
Yeah.
Dude, that's
2
not
nat
cool.
20s on
real
me.
mean.
You take 6 points of piercing damage, and then you take 9 points of poison damage.
I'm up. I'm still here.
Warding bond, freaking for the win.
Oh, so
I will take half.
you'll take half of that?
Yep, so I will take
6 points of damage each.
6 points of damage each.
And then for the second attack on the nat 20, you will take 14 points of bludgeoning damage. So half to 7 for both you and Zag. And then,
I'm at 1 hit point.
and then,
And then
14 points of poison damage for each of you. With that, Selene, you fall unconscious. I'm going to need you to make me a Constitution saving throw.
So I rolled terribly. I'm going to use the inspiration that Discord gave me today.
Okay, wonderful. Thank you to the Discord. We run polls once a week on that Discord to vote for which player deserves an inspiration point for the next session. So check out our Discord. The link is in the episode description.
Okay, so that's going to be a 10. Should I use my other inspiration?
I don't know. Is it just the poison damage?
It's just probably poison damage. You're right.
Or is this turning you into
This
a
is your
Drider?
Constitution save, isn't it?
Yeah. You're probably right.
yeah, let's hold on.
Yeah,
You're
okay,
right.
so I got a 10 for the Constitution saving throw.
So with a 10 with a Constitution save, take 2 death saves. Failed death saves.
Are you serious right now?
As you feel spider poison coursing through your body and you feel legs start to sprout from out of you. And with that is the end of the Bridesmaid of Darkness's turn. Grom, you are up.
Holy crap.
I'm gonna cry all night if I die.
I'm going to hit my hammer on my shield to make like a ringing sound and try to attract their attention. And then I'm going to attack Queen, the Drider Queen. Natural 19, which is a crit.
Oh,
for
nice.
Me.
Oh, yeah, that definitely
yes.
hits.
Champion.
Not great, but 8 points of bludgeoning damage for the first one. So 19 to hit.
A 19 will hit.
That will be my action surge. 12 points of damage, of bludgeoning damage.
Selene, go ahead and roll me a death save.
Already?
Wait, was she first?
No, I was last.
Wow. Oh, you haven't even gone yet.
Okay. I do have 1 point of inspiration, so I have 2 shots at this. Okay, I got a 16.
Yes.
16, that is 1 success.
Okay.
You fight back the Drider poison within you. Finch, on his turn, is going to take place in the grovel action and is going to get knocked prone. Everyone gain a point of inspiration.
Yes!
How powerful is the Cox network? So powerful that one day the internet will let your doctor perform miracles from thousands of miles away,
Connecting to remote operating room.
giving a whole new meaning to the term house call.
Operation complete.
The Cox network, with gig speeds everywhere. It's internet built for tomorrow, today. Cox, bringing us closer. In Cox serviceable areas, speeds vary and are not guaranteed. Cox terms apply. Other restrictions may apply.
Zag, you are up.
First thing Zag's gonna do, he's distraught. He sees his friend go down. He feels like he encouraged them to do this and is starting to feel so in over his head. He realizes like how much power he's received, and he thinks it may be from that same soul stone that she has. He's gonna cast a Cure Wounds. He's still right behind Selene, so he's still just gonna to lean down and hand on her and cast that Cure Wounds at 2nd level. 18 points of healing. Our warding bond, though, is no more once you went down to 0.
Oh, okay.
18 points.
So 18 points.
So you come back up with 18 points of health. However, as you stand up, Selene, you feel fire in your veins.
Okay.
I'm also going to pull out the karaoke decks as a bonus action on the bridesmaid. Hello, darkness, my old friend.
Hello, Zag. Oh my, what a precarious situation. Yucklol, weakened, medium, demon, bridesmaid of darkness for Lulf. Its weaknesses include fire in its spider form, radiant in its spider form, and radiant in its demon form. Armor class 14. Hit points unknown.
Yucklol is the name of the demon.
Oh, I literally typed it as
and
Yucklol.
is that new information? Like we didn't know before that she was.
We didn't know that she was a demon.
Nope.
Okay.
And then before he finishes his turn, he's gonna look at the party almost like confused with that look of like, do we keep going or not?
This stops whenever you want. I can heal your friends. I can make sure you go on unscathed. Work with me or die. I gave you your choices.
Efimia is just going to put her hands out. We need to stop this madness right now if we want our friend to survive. She's going to point at the bridesmaid of darkness. How can we trust that you will follow through on your end if we go and find somebody you claim to be your love, though I don't really understand it because it's not like they've exactly been seeking you out all of this time.
I seem to be holding all the cards in this situation. I don't really care. I've seemed to have gained 2 new followers today. Do what you want.
And Efimia's just going to narrow her eyes.
Selene is going to look just very beat right now, after, being down on the ground and then coming back, she already feels defeated and very weak right now with how this has gone for her so far. She's not going to say anything, but that's pretty clearly conveyed that she's lost her spirit to the party.
Efimia's going to kind of just roll her shoulders back a little bit, stand up a little straighter, even though she's obviously a little beat down too. Not quite at Selene's level at this point. She already got bit by the Drider in the last hall. She knows that if they keep going, she will not survive, and Selene probably wouldn't either. So she steps a little closer to the Drider bridesmaid of darkness demon, and she's especially concerned now that she's heard that that's a demon and not just a Drider. She's not as familiar with that concept or really like what it would take to take her down. She just kind of points at her and goes, "You may think you hold all the cards right now, but I can promise you, if you do not follow through on your side of things, this will not be the end of it. And what you think is simple now will not be simple later. So if you want us to find supposedly your great love, rather than taking somebody by force, which by the way is disgusting, then I'm going to need you to actually follow through on your end. I'm going to need you to turn this boy," and she points at Finch, who's like just kind of sprawled on the ground in his little grovel situation that Efimia put him in last turn, and go into an actual man. Well, or at least as much of a man as he was before, which
I can do that. However, I need blood.
This was not a part of the deal. What do you mean?
His veins course with venom. If I were to heal him right now, he would surely die. You see, Drider venom, after being exposed into the veins, is a parasitic value that, if it is deprived from the blood that it has been introduced to, will kill the host.
it makes sense since you're parasitic.
Her eye twitches, Efimia, as you say that a little bit, and then she looks over at Zag's amulet and with hunger in her eyes calms herself down and says,
"Yes, I need fresh blood. So unfortunately, young miss," as she points at Selene, "your blood will not do anymore. I need blood and a ritual to be performed on this here fellow, and I will give him freely to you. However, he will be on a clock. The blood that you provide to him will last for 2 days until he becomes a full Drider. And if you fail to bring him back to me, he will come back on his own accord, a full Drider. And so I would gladly heal him because I do not want this man, as we've said before. I'd rather Arachnia Blue.
Well, I doubt they want you either, but I suppose we will find somebody for you.
You know, you may leave. No deal. Selene, as the Bridesmaid of Darkness, says this. You feel that same burning in your veins, and go ahead and roll me a death save.
She has emboldening bond still currently active, correct?
Yes.
I can use an inspiration on a natural one,
You
right?
can use an inspiration on a natural one.
Clearly. Here's an inspiration. That was a 3.
Oh my lord.
Okay, so
she's so nervous. Oh my goodness.
I'm so scared. I'm gonna freak out right now. I've never been so
I'm
scared.
having a panic attack.
I've never been so scared in a D&D game before. I'm gonna start crying.
A 3 is a failed death saving throw. Now, normally at 3 death saving throws, that would be it, Selene. You would be dead. However, this Drider poison that is in your veins from this Drider bite seeps through you and causes you to stabilize. However, your body, as you wake up, is paralyzed, and you feel this Drider poison begin to grow and mutate with your own blood. I'm going to need you to make me a Constitution saving throw. Now, this is to see if you become a full Drider or fight off the infection for another day.
14.
With a 14, you're able to fight off the Drider poison for a little bit longer. You do not turn. However, the DC for the next Drider poison save will be higher with 3 failed death saves that you have. The Bridesmaid of Darkness is done. She has turned her back on this deal. She's no longer willing to heal Finch or Selene.
I think Efimia has to grovel a little bit.
Well,
and she's not gonna like it.
Okay, so
sorry, I don't want to be like a bloodlust, but I don't know what else to do.
Listen, so you said that we have 2 days until he turns.
But she would have to do the ritual. But
With
she
the
said she won't
ritual.
do it now. She's done with us.
You will permanently be Drider in 2 days.
Right, he's got the Drider pants on.
But could Drider be changed by something like Greater Restoration? Possibly.
Yes.
Okay, so here's my thought. I don't think we can do this right now. And as much as it pains me, I think we're just going to have to come back when we're ready.
Are we going to be ready in 2 days?
At this point, I'll take what I can get. I'm not sure what the possibilities are, but I know there are powerful people in this realm that could possibly help us with something like this. I just don't think that we'll be able to take him right now. It might be months from now. It could be a year from now.
A year will be too late. In 2 days, he will fully be Drider.
We have to use the Greater Restoration
Within the 2 days. Oh, I thought you were saying that before that happened.
No, yes. 2 days you have.
Efimia isn't even gonna look at the group and just step towards the Drider Queen because she knows she kind of screwed up a little bit and let the heat get to her. And she goes, "Do you even want to see Arachnia Blue again? Because it doesn't sound like you do. If you want us to find them, we will. But I need you to follow through with what you said. If you want your eternity to be sad, then that is up to you. But I'm trying to help you, even though you are not doing your best on your part. I will do my work for you if you follow through. Please."
Since you say the magic word.
Selene, this Drider is going to come over and sink their fangs into your neck, and you're going to feel all the venom be sucked out of you. And she says,
"You have 2 days until your Drider body either returns or your blood rejects the fact of not having venom and you die. And well, if you'd like to perform a ritual with your boyfriend, you may. These are your options. Take your boyfriend now and perform this ritual, change him back, or leave him with me and return in 2 days with Arachnia Blue, and I will give him back to you freely. The choice is yours, or you may leave, and I would love to see you back in a few days."
As she gestures to you, Selene.
All right, you haven't given us a choice, but...
Actually, I did give you a choice. You took your choice away when you attacked me.
You see that this spider, who is very used to being respected, worshipped, and doted upon, the vein in her forehead thickens, and her eyebrow twitches so bad, and her teeth grimace, and she looks at you so upset.
I'm just gonna walk away. Not sassily, but I'm just gonna hang my head and walk away. We'll bring back your love. We'll take your deal, and we'll take Finch with us, and we'll be back in 2 days.
Whose blood will I be using? The more people's blood that I can put into the pot to save young boyfriend here, the easier it will be to change him back into his original race. However, it comes at a price. Every soul who puts their blood into this pot will gamble their life.
How so?
The blood will either help him or overtake you. Once you've given part of your blood into the bowl will steep as much as young boyfriend here needs.
Well, never mind then. You didn't say that before.
All right.
We'll come back in 2 days and we'll get him then.
All right.
You're okay with that, Selene?
I'm not willing to risk everybody else.
Zag is pissed. Like, just pissed. Head down, looking up at her with angry eyes. And he just asks, where do we go to find this Arachnia Blue?
Last they were seen, they were heading deeper into the Underdark. I would assume on the outskirts of the Underdark.
Okay.
And I'll hang my head and walk out.
Yeah, Efimia is just gonna give the bridesmaid a death glare and then turn around and follows behind Selene.
The bridesmaid of darkness's eyes go from accommodating to cold. And Efimia, I'm going to need you to make me a dexterity saving throw, as sharp webs are going to come shooting out at you.
What are you doing, girl?
12.
You will take 16 points of piercing damage, and I'm going to need you to make me a constitution saving throw.
Oh my lord.
Okay, at this point, I'm attacking her. She can't just attack her and do this. Yeah,
Are we going
I'm
back
going
in?
Yeah.
Okay, we're going back
I'm
in.
running.
18.
18, you are unaffected. The poison does not go into your veins, and you are unaffected. With this Drider obviously at your backs, Grom, you pull your weapon, correct?
I mean, if she's going to continue attacking us, at this point, Grom has been on edge the entire time and was barely holding back, not just going full ape on her when she was attacking us regularly. So her attacking us again, this is, I don't know, I don't think Grom would just sit around and let this happen.
I'm at a 3.
Y'all are looking kind of worse for wear. Finch is still a Drider, and you all brandish your weapons to go again. And with that, I believe that's where we're going to end our session for the night. My name is Cade, the host and dungeon spider of this Dungeons & Dragons 5th edition adventure, and I'm joined here by the players.
Alec playing Zag.
Mason playing Grom.
Marissa playing Efimia.
Brooklyn playing Selene.
If you're as upset at me as the rest of the party is, go on over to patreon.com/knocked and check out our Patreon perks. And we hope that you remember when life knocks you flat on your back, all you got to do is keep rolling. We hope you have a wonderful rest of your day.